looking at the awesome instructions provided by aPotforPot. Step 1, your topsoil preparation. The first things we need to do is we need to soak these cocoa bricks and get it loosened up. So to do that, it says use a large bucket. I got my 5-gallon there, and add 1 to 2 gallons of water and wait a little bit. Let's do that. Ooh, before I add the water, I'm just going to tell you a little secret. I'm pHing it. Going for about 6.2, anywhere from 6.0 to 6.3. pH your water before you do this, and then we're going to test the water when it's done to make sure this cocoa isn't throwing off the pH of your root zone. Adding the water. Now I'm just going to unwrap this and put it into the water. Alright, so now that I have it unwrapped, I'm just going to put it down in the water. Kind of wants to float. Just push it down a little bit. You'll see it start to break up, start to loosen up. It'll float again, but that's okay. As it absorbs the moisture, we're going to break it up into smaller pieces. We are going to have to drain this in the end, so make sure you have something to drain it out, because as you can see, there's already little particles. We're going to want to use this as the medium. So yes, we'll have to rinse this out. Make sure you have something to do that with. Alright, as you can see here, those little bricks of cocoa turned into thick bricks of cocoa. But I still got to drain the water out. So I'm going to go do that outside. I'll be back in a second. Alright, so the next move according to the directions, I'm going to take the perlite, I'm going to take my rooting booster, and I'm going to take the diatomaceous earth. I'm going to dump this all into my cocoa and then mix it up a little bit. And remember, this perlite is the stuff that you absolutely do not want to get in your eyes. So if you need to, wear gloves. I actually already wear glasses, so I'm just going to keep those on as I dump this in here. But again, be conscious about the dust that you get when you dump it out. Alright, got the perlite in there. Time for the rooting booster. And it just says dump it all in there. So what we're going to do is dump it all in there. Okay, next up is the diatomaceous earth. Where'd you go? Can't run from me. Diatomaceous earth. Again, these are just like kind of little shards of glasses. Definitely don't get them in your eyes either. Alright, just going to dump it all in here. And now, we just need to mix it thoroughly. And because I'm touching these materials, I actually put on gloves to mix them. So now, all we gotta do, we gotta thoroughly mix this part. That's the next step. The next step in the preparation process is to take 2 cups of the superb soil and mix it in with what we've already got. And you can see the superb soil, it already has the perlite in there. So we're just gonna toss this in. Boo, 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 boo. Gonna put on the gloves and mix it up again. The next step of the process is to take the remaining superb soil and fill the bottom of our pot. So let's go ahead and do that. And sometimes these bags get a little bit tricky when you're just one person. Sometimes you can put a rock or something in the bottom there. I think I'll do this fine. Got a little bag, put it on my knee, cut it open, pour it right in. There we go. Okay, so adding the soil now. So I've added both bags of the superb soil into this pot below, and in case you had a question of how it should look, this is what we're doing. You know, it's got the superb soil, kind of the bottom layer, that topsoil mix, which is what we did in the bucket, that goes above it, and then we put our seedling plug in there. So pretty good directions on the bag, but as I've got it in here, I'm just gonna kind of level it out. Again, make it nice and level. I don't want to compact it. Just make it nice and level, and then now we're going to add that topsoil mix right to it. Okay, so that step is complete. I've added all that topsoil mix with the cocoa and the perlite that we mixed up earlier. I added that all into here. Now, if you wind up with extra material, that's okay. I nearly did. You always want to make sure you leave yourself a little bit of a gap between the soil and the top of the container, because if it's right at the, you know, level of the container and you water it and there's some runoff, well, it's going to go down the side. So always leave yourself a little bit of room in there. Also, the instructions did say compact it a little bit with this cocoa material or the topsoil, and that's what I did. Wound up fitting perfectly. So now we just need to get our seedling plug and pop it in. Alright, so I made a hole for the Jiffy pellet to go in, and as you can see, you know, obviously it's growing, but more importantly, I saw roots coming out of the bottom here. See those? Yep. definitely time to go in the soil with this. I'm not going to try to unwrap it or do anything. I'm just going to leave it right in here. I'm going to plop it into the hole. And you know what? If I buried it at this level, I still have all the stem. So I'm going to dig it a little bit deeper to kind of backfill up to these cotyledon, those two original little round leaves. Alright, it's sitting in there much deeper now, but when I actually go to backfill this, the leaves, those bottom little cotton leaves, see right there, it's going to be at the surface of the soil. So I don't have that long leggy stem to worry about anymore. It's nice and supported, and there you go. Now it's just a matter of growing. This is a pot for a pot, all-in-one grow kit. And now we're growing. So can you. So give it a shot. I'm going to continue growing with this. You can follow along in the Grow Diary. You can learn more on the website. And also, don't forget, you can win yourself one of these. Go back and watch the first video, find out how. But we're going to be giving one of these grow systems away ourselves. So, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching these. I am Chad Westport. Follow me on chadwestport.com. Also, Instagram, chad.westport. And right here on YouTube, Chad Westport. So until next time, get your entries in, win yourself one of these, start growing in 2023. I'll be excited, but don't forget to party on, guys. Oops, can't forget my little tag for this. Jeez, come on. 1, 2.